you have to face the dragon without the shield here. Next time, don't mess with a dragon. That's a Howdy and welcome to another episode of Let's Make an RPG. So, I'm sorry I didn't go through the last and final steps I put in this game, but this is one of the things I just wanted to get done because I was having too much fun making it. So I'm going to show you what I all did, and then we're going to play test it through. So let's start at what I've all done. So, as you can see from the first video, this has changed drastically. So I changed it from once I combined several themes in this game. So of course we start in a prison, and I'll show you here. We've got all this to start off the dialogue and set the story. Of course, this is a humorous game. Then of course we've got a mysterious exit and a switch, and I'll show you how those will interact. Then you've got this area here. And then we've got an event here. We got one here. One here with, and this all does this. And I'll show you what it all does. Then we've got another board here. This is kind of a fun one that I created. Well, the other one that always was kind of fun to create. Then we've got this. We're here. This is basically it. So some interesting things I'm going to point out real quick. So we'll go back to here. If you know anything about how I create my games, especially if it's for jams or especially the RTP jams, I like to throw in different references in them. If you've played some of the Adventures of Reed series, they like to call them, you notice there's a lot of video game references, retro game references, old movie references. This is no different. So, okay, if you have the buckler, which the only way to get it is to actually do the event from this thing. It has the animation. It plays an animation of fire onto a hit fire onto the player. The screen fades. You get some game over music, and I'll explain this in a bit. And then it says, next time don't mess with the dragon. And then you get some more dialogue. Then you wait 60 frames. It transfers you back to the part of the castle, fades in. Then you get how then it does that. The dev says something, and a shield magically appears. This character is all over the place. You have to catch him. I originally had it where you had to use the skill to stop him, but I thought catching him was more fun. This is a neat area, and I'll show you another reference real quick. Because if we go down to the bar, one of my favorite old school RPG games I've ever played was a game called, So You Want to Be a Hero. In that, there's a item you could go into a bar in the first area in the town you enter in, and you go into the bar and you order a drink called Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath has a secret. It's an instant kill item. You drink it, you die. I created that. I've always wanted to create that in an RPG game just because it was always fun. So I literally created Troll the Brew. And you'll see what it does. And you've got another area here. We're gonna get rid of this because I got rid of a few things here. So you're gonna delete that. We're gonna go here. We're gonna just cover this stairway up with some wall. I completely forgot I had to get rid of that. Like I said, this game has vastly changed since the first video. I just couldn't stop. I was in a roll. There we go. All fixed. I may add more into it, but it's already been submitted to the jam. So if I submit something to the jam, it either means I'm just submitting it to the jam as the entry, and I plan on developing it more, but adding more content to it. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. And then we got this. We got an event here, and then here's another little reference to another game. If you know of Shadowgate on the NES, you know that a lot of spells in that game are all nothing worse than words spelled backwards. We have the Dark Temple entrance, which is pretty much the final level. Go here, you get a cryptic message and a nod to AVG, Angry Video Game Nerd. Here you've got a nod to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, specifically the Bridge Keeper scene, and then the final battle, which really isn't the final battle, and the exit. So that's basically all that I've done, and the game was, in my opinion, completely finished with an actual soundtrack. But like I said, most of my games are references, so the soundtrack and sound effects are actual references as well. So let's playtest this thing, shall we? I'll be right back.
Okay, if you can't tell right now, you hear in the background.
Down a little bit so you can hear me over it. The first reference is, of course, the soundtrack to this is all going to be Shadowgate soundtrack from the old NES game Shadowgate. I love the music, so I found it and I basically downloaded all the good tracks from it and put them in. One of these days I might make a game with just nothing but Shadowgate type style, but another time. So let's play, shall we? So let's go to new game. And of course, here's the beginning music, and you get, after all the trouble the devil has put Reed through, he decided to take a vacation. However, it landed him in some prison, and now he is stuck. It appears it's time for the devil. He needs this time he goes out. Dev comes up and goes, well, it appears you tried to run off, and now you got yourself in some prison. Reed says, somehow I feel that you had your hand in putting me here. You wanted an adventure? Well, you got one. Once again, I've combined multiple themes. Let me guess, another RTP camp. What themes this time? Epic quest to escape from prison, egg hunt, and useless skill. Wow, you took 3 themes in one game. Well, how do I get out of here? Magical switch. See that switch? Pull it and it will reveal the exit out of here. Now that you are free, I have 4 hidden areas in the game. I need you to find them for me as you try to escape the prison. First of the errors. There's a weird guy spinning a circle. Hi, Seeker. Alright, it goes, what's wrong with him? You battle ends, and that was easy. And here comes where I mentioned that whole part of you have to face the dragon without the shield here. Next time, don't mess with a dragon. that ending music is actually from So You Want to Be a Hero. Really, you used the So You Want to Be a Hero style of ending. Arthur's your back. Then a magical shield appears. Now this will change the interaction with the dragon. Because now the dragon disappeared. You to go to the exit. I got a gift for you. There's your useful skill. You've been given a skill that does nothing but clock like a second. Then yes, what's wrong with Regarding? I think I forgot to change his autonomous movement settings. That's sure. Good luck. Now I'll show you the trick. You gotta trap him. Yeah, he's a little bit. You literally have to trap him. Well, I gotta see into that, but yeah. Then of course get this room. I'll fix this, but this literally just says Goblin Pub downstairs. Now I'll show you this one. First of all, here's the next error. There's the next error. Hey, there's a note. Don't try the troll. I got some errors and stuff to fix, but yeah. Soul's Brew. And that. Anytime you see that when you interact with an event or character or item, they need to find an error. So we'll go down here. Okay, this is from Shadowgate Flood. This is an unreleased, unused soundtrack track. So here's here to try Troll's Brew. Something happens. Next time, don't try a drink named Troll's Brew. Really, you created your own version of Dragon's Breath. And then it does a game over, but literally it just was that. Here's another thing. But it's just, a lot of these have bonus down, so I like to see how many I can frame into them. So here's the next area. Not really much here. I'm going to add more to this. I might add more to it. I still got a couple of days to resubmit it. Here's the next thing. Poor thing, you didn't try. Poor thing, you didn't even try to make her something. Let me guess. This place is the realm of disused assets? That and punishment for disappearing for a week. Resurrect her. Thank you for resurrecting me. Here is a hint. The dev put a hidden exit in this room. To find it, check the statue. The statue has something written on it. Why do I sense a Shadowgate reference? Neepo. Neepo, Neepo, Neepo. Open backwards. Temple of the Grand Error. What does this tomb say? 2 eyes of glass wait behind the wall. 2 iron fingers must answer the call. Flip the twin levers to break the night seal and let the dual suns their brilliance reveal. They quote AVGN. Why so cryptic? Why not? It's fun. So here, I'll show you real quick. In the center of this room, you have 2 orbs, a blue orb and a yellow orb. You have to have them both spinning at the same time. To do that, you have to first flip this lever.
I was gonna make us a lever puzzle this way, then this lever. But
And then once you're on them, you go in between them and here.
then you've got our gatekeeper. What is with this guy?
To get past me, you must answer me these questions 3. Really, didn't you use this reference in a previous game anyway? I guess I can do this. Ask away, gatekeeper, I am not afraid. What is your favorite color? What is your favorite food? What is the name of the dev's new puppy? And you've got 3 answers. Only one is correct. And of course, it's the third one. How did you get that? He disappears, believes you with one bit of light. Here's a hint for you. The center room is a teleport to the altar. Just yell out, of course, teleport spelled backward. Wonderful, another Shadowgate reference. I initially had it where you had to find 2 plaques to read that to get the last 2 clues, but I changed it. Well, here it goes. Tropolek. Final battle. You meet up with the dev. I see you found all the errors I left in the game, but you're not done yet. In order to beat the game, you have to beat me. Oh, that's easy. Syntax error. Really, you think calling the classic error code will stop me? Ha, nothing happened. Wait for it. What just happened? I erased your code. You were the one who wrote Christmas last year. Reference to the last video. Now to get out of here. Go to 10. Reference to old programming style basic. Reed may have beaten the dev this time, but we all know that the next RTB gem and the pesky dev returns is Shrest or Reed. And then of course the credits. To be continued. And there you have it. That is the game. It is currently out on my iStudio page right now, but keep in mind, this is just a bare basic playable game. I do have some errors. I do want to add some more to this as well, so there may be more videos on this. Actually, they probably will be as I add more to this. Until then, peace out, stay frosty. Those do good in the world. Remember the road of where the stories are, and see you in the next one.